What's going on, man?
All right, man. It's all good. I'm Billy Carson, a.k.a. Forbidden Knowledge, and we have my good friend Gven Sariol from the Ark in the house. What's going on, man?
Froze. Either Billy froze or I froze.
Oh, I feel like I'm good. Let me see. Can you guys see me over there in the live chat?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. That was weird.
Yeah, either you froze or I froze.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know which one it was. Yeah, I have a good signal over here, but you never know. With the way everything's going on in the world right now, everything is unstable.
I shouldn't be laughing, but
that's crazy. Relevant. That's true, though.
Relevant. You know? Relevant. Yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, you know, and you know, we're working hard over here to like see what we can do to make things better in people's lives, but it's getting increasingly tough, man. The world is I know you went on a rant the other day, you know, in regards to the ICE agents, and you know, like you see, it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. And by the way, there's like a full-blown jubilee. I'm going to bring it up here in a little bit. A full-blown jubilee happened today. But you didn't hear about this unless you're like in crypto or whatever, right? But a full-blown jubilee happened today. And people aren't even talking about it. But we're talking today about the fourth turning, and this is super relevant. Super relevant to the fourth turning, right? A lot of people don't know what the fourth turning is. And essentially it's like seasons. It's like seasons within like generations, kind of, right? I know, Billy, you've studied this a bit. I think you've talked about it a few times. But there's like, it's just like, I guess anything else in life, right? There's good times and there's bad times. And this is kind of like a blueprint. And it's like, I don't know about you, but like, I'm looking at this like, which direction is this headed in? Because we can actually collectively, consciously, really insist like, no, we're not going to give into that. Or yes, we are. Right. And, you know, fear is a very, very strong emotion. It's a very strong emotion when you take a look at it. But I'm looking at this. I don't know. I was 23. I was 23 when the Iraq war was being considered. And I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, and I was a hardcore Democrat at the time, but nonetheless, I'm sitting there going like, holy crap. This going to Iraq, what does Iraq have to do with 9/11? Right? What did Iraq have to do with 9/11? Like all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's got weapons of mass destruction. Like, wait, how did this dude even get in this picture? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait. Like, weren't we just talking about Afghanistan? You know, now we're starting a war with like, why?
They stretched it all the way into Iraq.
And you know, there's a lot of people are saying like it was because of oil. Some people say it was because like they were going after, what was it, like Gilgamesh's tomb or something?
Well, they were going after something. The weapon of mass destruction happened to be this object that looked like the same circular shape of the Stargate in the movie Stargate, which was inside the ziggurat of Ur. And one of my friends who actually was on that same battalion was there in person, took a lot of photos of soldiers going up and down the ziggurat, and also this object which came out of the ziggurat was thrown into the back of a double wide Humvee. A tarp was thrown over the back, and it drove off, and he never saw it again. But there's an older image, which is not Photoshop. It's not AI, because this is pre-AI, that I posted probably 7 years ago in my Facebook group that shows this object with some Arabs sitting next to it inside the ziggurat. And it does look very similar to the Stargate circle, you know, the gate with the codes on it for the Stargate from the movie Stargate, which is wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, man, all the things that I've seen, especially over the last 5 years, even just the creation of AI, it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't put like, what is it? Reality is stranger than fiction sometimes, you know? Yeah. And so I'm just like, I'm sitting here going like, okay, what's going to happen here? And how do we stay safe? How do we I don't know, how do we better ourselves through this? I guess is like what I'm kind of thinking about, right?
Right.
And we have this book, The Fourth Turning, and these guys, I guess there was 5 predictions that they made. Like 2 of them, from what I remember, it was like the financial crisis of 2008 and then the pandemic. And now it's, you know, World War III or Civil War.
Right.
Or from what we're seeing, both.
Both. Yeah, both. It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
Talk about creating uncertainty in the market.
Dude, for people who are in crypto, it has been a really, really rough ride. It has not been easy. It's been the most, you know, I've been in crypto since early 2017. This has been easily the hardest market I've ever been through in my entire life.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, like, it's also the market that I've been able to like keep the most amount of money, but it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute Trump texting about tariffs. The next minute, Elon texting or tweeting about the Epstein files and Trump.
Yeah.
The next minute, no taxes on crypto. The next minute, the economy is going to collapse. The next minute, inflation went up. The next minute, there's a rocket headed towards Iran. The next minute, there's a rocket heading towards Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, and like every single time one of these things happen, it's like, you know, it's like, it's wild. Yeah. I think somebody posted like there was a huge solar flare. I was looking. Who was it? Somebody posted there was a huge solar flare just recently. Really? Yeah, X 1.27 solar flare just hit. I don't know where it hit.
That's going to burn out a lot of Starlink satellites.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the solar flares are CMEs, coronal mass ejections. They will disrupt satellites, disrupt the space weapons that we have up there, you know, disrupt cell phone signals, because a lot of it's run from satellite technology, which when it affects the Starlinks, it'll affect internet in parts of the world. There's just so many things they can do. Plus, of course, if it gets low enough to the surface, it can actually even disrupt our electric grid, our power grid, which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what happened the other day in Spain or something?
I don't know about that. I was in Peru, so I was a little bit behind on some things, but I know that back when we had the telegram wires and everything else, we had a CME that came down and struck the earth and knocked down all the telegram wires. If that was today with the modern wires we have now, that would have knocked down the power grid for some time. So we're probably overdue for another big hit at some moment in time where the grid could go down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you see the post from Anonymous today?
No.
Oh man, it's pretty hardcore.
Wow.
they're saying that there's gonna be something, I'm not gonna say it here, but something gnarly happening in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's not gonna be who they say it is that did it.
Yeah.
You know, one of the countries that is the conflict is going on, one of the countries that has the conflict going on, and the other country that has the conflict going on is going to be the one that does it, and then they're going to blame it on the other one.
Yeah, be a false flag attack. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Do you think that people now, with all the information that we have available to us, do you think they're just going to like 9/11, everybody was patriotic, man. I remember, man, there was like American flags on the back of everybody's trucks. Like, do you think that's going to happen again?
I think there'll be a percentage of Americans that are just completely brainwashed and sold out to worshiping a flag. But I think that there'll also be a huge number of people, especially after coming out of this scamdemic, that are going to be like questioning, like, we need more data because something just don't add up here. So I think we'll see a better mix of people that are a lot more skeptical and want to ask more questions and won't just take it wholeheartedly versus the percentage of people that will take it wholeheartedly and, whatever the government says goes. But I think we'll see a more of a balance in people that significantly doubt the status quo and as to what's being said. I mean, we've been falling for these tricks all the way since time immemorial. I mean, one of the worst ones ever was the Gulf of Tonkin, when they faked an attack on a U.S. Navy vessel to create the right to go into Vietnam and have a war, all based on a lie, which came out later, of course, a long time later, but it was all a lie. And they used it as an excuse to go in there. And how many people had to die over that lie? How many rich guys in $10,000 suits made profits off of that war at the expense of all the poor people that were going and fighting on the front lines? I saw a video from Vietnam, watching some old tape, and some of these guys were doomed the moment that the helicopter dropped out of the sky to drop them off in enemy territory. When they would hop off of the helicopter, as soon as they hit the ground, they would turn their ankles or break their ankles right on sight and be crippled from the moment they hit the ground. I'm like, wow. I mean, how many times would you even allow something like that to happen before you change your tactic on how you're going to deploy people? But no, they just keep using the same exact technique, dropping people in the same exact spot, breaking soldiers' ankles. The moment they hit the ground, their ankles are broken, their knees are, the ACLs are torn or whatever.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is like by design. It didn't even make sense. But that's what they did. And unfortunately, it was a 20-plus year war that made a lot of people a lot of money, again, at the expense of poor people that went on the front lines and suffered. That's why I said in my video the other day, like, if you want to have a war against another country, then the leader of both countries need to have a hand-to-hand combat till the 100%. Death.
100%.
Again, I bet you the war stopped then.
Or have their kids fight to the death.
Yeah, sure. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you don't want to. All right, send your sons.
Right. Exactly. You want us to go to war? You and your family front line.
Yeah.
And we'll rally behind you.
Yeah, we'll rally behind you. I mean, that's the way they used to fight wars.
Oh, no. Back in the day, they really did. Renaissance era, they did that. Like, they really did that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now these guys, they're just chicken shit.
Yeah. They are chicken shit, man. A bunch of punks. Check this out. Let me play this clip real quick while you load that up.
Let me show you this. Billy. Look at this.
Oh, wait. What the hell is that? What the heck is this? Oh, man. Oh my goodness, that's horrible. That's crazy.
Dude, that's wow. Like that, because like I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard, right? I don't know if you heard, but like even Tucker Carlson is like, dude, I don't even like what's going on. Like all Charlie Kirk, all these huge conservative guys, they're like, wait, I thought we weren't going to any more wars.
I know.
And now he's like completely flipped. Like Tulsi Gabbard said, like, no, Iran does not have nuclear weapons. And he's like, No, that's rubbish. What she's saying. You're like, dude.
They've been saying, there's a video, and I wish I could find it right now. I have a video that I posted on social media since 1995.
I saw that.
Iran is a few weeks away from having nuclear arsenal. Then like 1999, and then 2003, and then 2005, and then 2009, and they just keep going. Every few years, they're only weeks away from a nuclear arsenal. Okay. And all of a sudden now they have it. No, then, like I said last night, I think they use Israel as a proxy to go in and start the war because it's time to make some money. Guys, there's no more places to invade. That's why I want to play this this quick video by General Wesley Clark. Check this out right quick.
And by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that. He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah, I read a book. I read a book about what was one of those countries? They're not Syria, where Gaddafi is from. Mm-hmm. And essentially like
Libya.
And they talk about like how they had free education. Mm-hmm. They paid for people's houses.
Yeah.
They weren't into usury. A lot of people need to learn that word usury because you're being used. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's a way that these elites have really enslaved mankind. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about just, the stuff that America took place in. I'm talking about they literally would rob countries.
Yep.
With usury and using people's greed to basically entrap them in slavery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'm just like blown away, man. Like when I started reading that stuff, I mean, that's when I really started getting into crypto. I read it a long time ago, right? Yeah. But I'm like, oh my gosh, you mean inflation is not like what it's supposed to be? Like there's not supposed to be inflation. And then you're sitting there, you're like, wait, how come the same amount of gold, it still costs the same amount for a house,
right?
As it does for, but cash is way more, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it way more money-wise? But it's the same amount of gold to buy it. In Bitcoin, now it's way less Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's just going like crazy.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's going crazy. Which, by the way, guys, we have a 2-day event coming up. Where we're going to go really deep into this topic. There's some real stuff happening. We're going to be talking about what I think is the Jubilee that's happening. Billy's going to be there.
Yep.
It's 2 days. It's going to be like 6 to 8 hours long. We have so many people speaking, some huge names. But spaces are filling up. We're already at like, I don't know, we haven't even talked about this yet or put it out there, and we're already at almost 200 signed up, and space is limited, but we just dropped a link there. Guys, gals, sign up. I'm going to be showing you how I'm still making money. I made from $15,000, I went up to a couple million. I'm going to be showing you how that system called decentralized finance is more relevant now than ever, because the real financial matrix, and it's called decoding the financial matrix. The real financial matrix is holding you down. It was holding me down for many years. And we're going to be talking to some really big names in the conscious space where they're going to be talking about how they escaped from that financial matrix And then I'm going to show you the tools. I'm going to give you tools that we charge like $2,000. We've charged $2,000 for this, for our course. I'm going to give it all for $5. So sign up, get over there. I'm telling y'all, this is the most relevant time to be educating yourself on all this stuff, man. We have the debt jubilee. We have inflation. We have wars. I mean, this is blueprint. This is before Rome, Billy. You know.
Yeah.
I have talked about this.
Yeah. This is a template, man. This is nothing but a template. Why I keep trying to tell everyone out there, you're crazy for voting for yourself. You wasted your vote on yourself. Remember all that? People were hitting me up every 4 years. You know, you can't do that. And why are you posting your ballot voting for yourself? Because I believe in me.
Yeah.
I bet on me. That's why I vote for myself. You guys put your faith in poly tricksters, and they keep letting you down. They keep hoodwinking you and tricking you and fooling you into thinking, oh my God, this is what we needed. This is the leader that was going to save the free world. And here we go. Forever wars are right back again.
Right back.
Guys, the stock market has never been this unstable in a long time. Nothing can grab a firm hold because of all the uncertainty being created in the market. But one thing I can guarantee you, the powers that be that are creating this uncertainty are profiting heavily off of uncertainty. They are making millions, if not billions of dollars off of all of this uncertainty because they know what they're going to say and when they're going to say it before they say it. So they know the downturns that are going to happen, so they can play the puts on the stock market in the stock options, and they can make hundreds of millions of dollars on the drop. And then they can make a nice speech or a nice tweet, and they can make hundreds of millions on the rise because they know exactly what they're going to say and how it's going to influence entire markets. So they're playing, and Uncle Sue, Jim, John, and Katie, they're all playing it for them too. This is one of the biggest scams going that has been going on for generations. Poly tricksters playing the market based off of foreknowledge as to what's going to be said to affect the markets emotionally. So that's what's happening, man.
Look at this. So this is from Tulsi Gabbard, our intelligence czar, or whatever she is. I don't know what her post is. Maybe somebody can type it in the chat. This is what she wrote. Okay. The United States intelligence community continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2023. This is in March of this year. Tulsi Gabbard, this was less than 90 days ago. And then like Trump goes on today and he says, "Oh, that's rubbish." Like, don't listen to her. I put her there.
We got money to make, so don't listen to that because we got to make this money.
Oh, dude, I think it's deeper than that. I think he's compromised.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Because no, man, no, come on.
The war machine has been activated. The first thing I did was I told my son, because I taught Justin how to play the stock market. I said, Justin, as soon as I found out about that, the deployment of American troops to the Middle East, I said, let's go check the stock market right now and watch these things rise up like you wouldn't believe. And sure enough, Lockheed Martin, right? LMK, Apache, all these stocks started going zoop. And one bullet and one bomb hadn't even been dropped on our side yet. But the second that the deployment announcement came through, all those military stocks went through the freaking roof. And the next one that's going to jump is going to be Palantir. They do all the spying and everything else and all the intel. So that Palantir is going to jump also.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I completely agree with you on that. Look at this. So while today we had this puppet show going on over here, right? Mm-hmm. And for the last few weeks, this puppet show and they're dividing everybody. You're this, I'm that, throwing rocks at cops, like all that shit, man. Look at this. Today they passed the Genius Act in the Senate. Still has to go through the House, and the president needs to sign, which he says he would sign overwhelmingly. Okay, but this is stablecoin legislation. So what you're about to see is stablecoins and the companies that and cryptos that are associated with stablecoins about to moon. About to moon. And I think it's going to be like sometime in July, they're going to get this thing passed. And I think this is going to be the debt jubilee that we've been waiting for. Why? Why? This is what's going on, people. Listen to this. And by the way, when was the last time you had a law pass 60 yay to 26 nay?
Wow.
Bro, said no senator ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even agree on the freaking color of the carpet.
Right. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. And they're sitting here rushing this law through. But here's what's going on. And we're gonna talk about this in the 2-day event in length. And I'm gonna show you which cryptos I've actually started buying and trading. But check this out. So right now, the world's reserve currency is the dollar. The BRICS nations, which you and I have talked about, we've done webinars regarding the BRICS nations.
Yeah.
They're coming up with their own currency. So the BRICS nations is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Yeah.
Right? They're coming up with their own currency, that cryptocurrency, or CBDC, central bank digital currency, which those ones I don't like. But what they're doing is they're like, okay, well, all these countries are coming together to form this. How do we get dollars in the hands of people all across the world, and we dollarize the world? So we have these things called stable coins, USDT, USDC, Trump's USD1. Okay? What ends up happening is they end up going, okay, you have to back every single one of these stable coins with a US Treasury, and you have to have a certain amount locked up for X amount of years in order for you to spread this. But this isn't just to people in the United States, Billy.
Yeah.
And you've seen this, dude. You were just in Peru. You've been to Turkey. You've been to Egypt. You've been to Panama. You've been all over the world just in the last few months.
Yeah, literally.
Me as well. In the last few years, I've been to like, I don't know, 8 or 9 different countries.
Yeah.
And overwhelmingly, what I see, more than Bitcoin, more than Ethereum logo, it's USDT. Because what happens is, let's talk about like Turkey or Argentina or Lebanon. I've been to all of those countries in the last 2 years. All of them.
Yeah.
Hyperinflation in all of those countries. Russia is another country I've been to in the last 2 years. Do you think they hold their peso or their lira? Or do you think, or Bitcoin? Or do you think they're holding dollars? They're holding dollars.
Yep.
So now you're going to come up, the rails are already built. Billy and I do business in USDT, USDC for certain things.
Yep. For a while. We've been doing that for a while.
Since I met you for 3 years. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh man, this is a great idea. Let's do this, bro. Like it was like from the first day, I'm like, deal? Okay, deal.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here going like, these guys are going to dollarize the world and people aren't going to even know it. I don't know if you know this. There was like double or triple the amount of stable coin usage last year than Visa and MasterCard combined.
Damn. Oof.
Combined.
Wow.
Guys, gals, I'm telling you right now, they're like, look over here, simpletons, look over here. But the people who are like peeling back the veil and seeing there's the Wizard of Oz is not this floating head with magical powers, is just a poly trickster.
Yep.
I'm setting myself up for the future. And let me tell you this, and Billy, I think you would agree with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're about to go through some really hard shit.
Yeah.
We're about to go through some really, really hard stuff in this world. I was just talking to Mike Rashid the other day. He's like, man, the world has gotten more violent, Gven. I'm like, yeah, even since I met Mike Rashid, it's gotten more violent. But I will tell you this.
There will not an existential threat.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. There will come an end to this. It's not going to go forever. I don't think we're going to blow ourselves up, and we're going to have a very, very, very different life than we have now. Just like, after World War II, they had a very, very different life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ours is going to be different.
Very different. This video that I was waiting to, I didn't know it was going to start playing right away, that I put up here was to add on to what you were talking about. And we talked about in reference to Iran not being nuclear capable. Check this out.
Is not an existential threat to Israel, but it is a strategic threat. Now, let's compare the records of these two countries. Iran has never attacked a neighbor. Israel has repeatedly attacked its neighbors. Iran signed the non-proliferation treaty. Israel has refused to sign. Iran submits to inspection by the International Nuclear Energy Agency. Israel refuses to submit. Iran has no nuclear weapons. Israel has between 75 and 400 nuclear weapons. So Israel poses an existential threat to Iran. For the last 40 years, Israel has conducted a systematic campaign of disinformation about Iran. Why the lies? Why the double standards? Why the hypocrisy?
Interesting.
Wow. Totally interesting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It just goes back to the Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, like, dude, you can say whatever you want, right? Like, you've been to Dubai many times, right?
Oh, yeah.
These places, a lot of these people are like, dude, I feel really safe. Like, I can leave my car keys on top of my Lamborghini and ain't nobody going to take my car.
Facts. There's no crime. You can leave a laptop on a street corner open and come back an hour later and it's still going to be there. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I'm trying to find a there's a tweet that I saw earlier today where they said like something was going to change tonight, like a huge surprise was coming.
Yeah, that was Iran, I believe, was saying that Iran. It's going to be remembered for hundreds of years or something. It was to the effect of that. And I was like, oh boy, what's coming now?
Yeah.
Or is it just another one of those scary threats that, just to have something to say because Trump been tweeting crazy stuff all day.
Yeah, he said, what did he say? No surrender or something like that? No.
We've got control of the Iranian skies. We've got great surveillance technology, far better than anyone else. And that it's made in good old America, that America makes the good stuff. Oh, yeah. He was just trolling today, just trolling on social media we know where Khomeini is at. We know we won't kill him yet. You know, just crazy trolling type stuff that should be top secret. Technically, shouldn't even be brought out to the general population. But you know, it is what it is. Again, we're dealing with the poly tricksters, so they like to play a lot of mind games and power trip. Again, guys and gals, that's why I tell you, vote for yourself, man. And people laugh at me every 4 years when I vote for myself and do my own presidential declaration and my own presidential inauguration and my own presidential speech. But I truly believe in myself. And that's more than most people can say for themselves. Most people don't believe in themselves, and that's why they have to believe in someone else. Well, I don't believe in nobody but me, period.
Yep.
I'm going to keep doing
that. Oh, man. I actually, dude, I voted for you, Billy. I voted for you. I didn't want to vote for. I wanted to vote for you, man. Billy for president. Billy for prez. Oh man, this is wild, dude. Like, yeah, this is wild.
It's a wild time that we live in, man. It's a wild time. Wild time.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, I'm trying to get a hold of the mayor of Panama and have a meeting with him. It's supposed to be getting set up and scheduled. He's heavy into crypto and wanted to have crypto education in Panama, which of course I'm trying to introduce him to you in the ARC, because that would be a great government program to implement over there. But as I look around, I just see all these governments are really converting wholeheartedly into the crypto arena and wanting to accept even payments for things via crypto, which is something that's being activated over there in Panama and other countries as well. You know, so it's weird because in one way we got all this crazy chaos going on, this entropy where things move from an ordered state to a disordered state, but also on the other spectrum we have an acceptance of this DeFi and the crypto and everything else happening. So it's kind of this weird gray area right now that we're navigating.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like. And here's the thing, and this is where I think we end up. I think we're gonna figure it out, right? In history, we always do. And based off of, you know, like the 4 turnings, they're saying that this is gonna go until like 2030 to 2032, right? Is when they predict like everything's just gonna calm down. We're gonna enter really that new golden age, right?
Yeah.
And so like, but in the meantime, I think it's a tremendous time to build. It's a tremendous time to create. And, you know, I spend a lot of time away from the news, from social media, because it's just like they want you to feed in to the demon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They want you to feed into the demon.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, but I do think that at the end of the day, you know, most likely the dollar will collapse in some form. Either it'll collapse, or we're going to have to figure out like, hey, it's got to be backed by gold, Bitcoin, whatever, Ethereum even. In my opinion, Ethereum is worth way more than Bitcoin just because of the network usage and who's building on it right now. And all the businesses are building, and it's decentralized, right? Yeah. It's up there with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is just horribly slow. I get heat because Bitcoin has done so well, and it has, and I buy Bitcoin, right? It's part of my portfolio. But at the same time, I'm just like, but I don't use Bitcoin, you know? And it wasn't meant to be a pet rock, you know? It was meant to be a way for us to spend money that was outside of the system, but it was horribly slow. I think it can only do about like 5 to 7 transactions per second. But I do think at the end of the day, it's better than the options we have now, right? Which is just they type up computer, you know, numbers on a screen, and you have to own and you know, like who knows what's in whose bank accounts. Right, especially these poly tricksters. Yeah. So I think the time is coming where if we do build, and we are working with guys like, you know, the mayor of Panama, which I actually believe the mayor of Panama will become the president here one day. You know, he's young. He's like Nayeli Bukele. who is the president of El Salvador, the real crypto president, by the way. Have you seen what he's done to his country, Billy?
Oh yeah, it's wild. It's amazing. I watched the whole documentary.
I think you're on mute, Billy. I think you're on mute.
No, I'm not on mute.
Either that or did I? Is
hello,
Billy on mute?
All my indicators are on.
I can't hear you.
Wow, you can't hear me? That's interesting.
Let me see here.
That's fine. Let me check my settings. I think I'm good to go. Can y'all hear me?
You guys
live
can
chat?
hear Billy. I don't know what happened with me. Let me see. Maybe it's my stuff.
Yeah, I seem like I'm okay. Test. Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's see here. Audio.
And still, we can hear both. E-Dub says we can hear both.
Let me see. Talk again, Billy.
Billy Carson, a.k.a. Forbidden Knowledge in the house.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and go out and come back in. Anyway, guys, listen, we have an amazing masterclass coming up in just a couple of weeks. I've been dropping the link in the live chat. It's basically free. Now it's $5, but that's basically free. And the reason why we're only charging $5 is just to keep some skin in the game so that people are committed to actually showing up to this class to learn something, because it's going to be a lot of hours of my time, a lot of hours of Gven's time. We're talking about probably 6 to 7 hours, 6 to 8 hours, I think it is total. It's a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of teaching. And so we just feel it's fair that if somebody feel like, maybe they spent a couple dollars, they wouldn't just take it for granted and not show up. So we made it very cheap, $5. All right, $5, and drop the link again. There's only a limited amount of space as well. So make sure you guys hurry up and register, because we can't deal with 1 million people at once, but we can definitely do a few hundred. So make sure you guys click that link and register ASAP, and we'll see you for that huge masterclass in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, awesome. It's going to be a big one, man. We're anticipating over 1,000 people, so it's going to be. We're almost what, 20% of the way there, and we haven't even started talking about it yet. I know, this is wild. Yeah. So it's going to be incredible. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to spending a lot of time with the people and helping to help bring this knowledge and things that they can apply right now, and teach them what's going on, how they can utilize it, how they can activate it, what to do, what not to do, and all the wealth and knowledge you bring on the crypto side, which is what they definitely need, because this world is evolving at an extremely fast pace. And if you aren't ready to pivot, man, you're going to get stuck in the dust. There's going to be a lot of people going, man, I wish I could have, and I hope I did, and I wish I did, and I didn't do that on time. And all these regrets are going to start popping out. I remember when my friend came to me a long time ago. This has to be at the beginning of the internet age. And he told me, he was buying pizza with Bitcoins. And I'm like, you're buying pizza with what? And he's like, yeah, you got to get some of these. And they were $1 a piece at the time. Oh my gosh.
$1. Okay. $1. Oh my gosh. And I laughed at him. And I said, man, this is some kind of scam. You get this thing out of my face. Yeah, I was wrong. So I got regrets. Okay. I have regrets about that. So I'm telling y'all, you got to come to this masterclass. Don't miss this masterclass. There's a lot of information that we're going to make you aware of and teach you so that you don't have the same regrets that I had. I had another regret. I would say probably now going back, how many years would this be? Man, this might be like maybe 15 years now. I'm in a gym working out with a personal trainer, and he's not paying attention to me. He's on his phone. And I'm like, hey, dude, come on, man, we're working out. He's like, I'm sorry, man, but I got to buy these Ethereums. I'm like, buy these what? He's like, yeah, these Ethereums, man, you got to get this. I'm like, what is it? He says, oh, it's only $14.75 right now.
Oh, my gosh.
You got to get these, man. It's going up. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Get back in over here. We can work out. And I could have got Ethereums at that time for $14 a piece.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Let me show you this chart, because I don't think a lot of people realize what. Man, let me hide this thing here. Where we're at like I'm seeing a lot of people in here, right? Like in this chat, right? Bitcoin and crypto is like, it's being adopted faster than the internet was at the same pace that we were at right now, right? But let's like take a look at the NASDAQ. Okay, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Let me share my screen here. Because a lot of people don't realize where we're at in this market right now. Okay, so you can see like this was the NASDAQ rise. You know, oh man, this only goes back to 2000. No, where's the NASDAQ? Maybe it's this one. We got to go back all the way to, man. Anyways, I'll pull it up here, but we're like in my opinion, I was telling my students here, we're like in 1996, right? Let me do Amazon because maybe NASDAQ didn't go. No, it did. I swear it did. But so look at this. Okay, so this is Amazon going back to, man, there's some weird stuff going on here. Going back to 1997, okay? And when you take a look at this, maybe I set my, that's why. That's why. Let me take the settings off. So when you take a look at this though, there we go. Using my, I don't know what happened here. Anyways, when you take a look at this, like or Amazon, which is really representative of the NASDAQ, right? Yeah. This thing mooned, okay? Mooned from right here at the beginning to the peak. It did a 33x, a 33x until it collapsed in basically the beginning of 2000, right? And look at this thing. Look at what it did, okay? When you take a look at this, it went down by 94%, okay? Now, we're still here. And in my opinion, like Ethereum is probably the NASDAQ. And the good news is Ethereum hasn't even pumped. So everybody's still early right now to Ethereum. Okay, you're still early. I'm not sure about Solana. There's a lot of meme coin pump and dump, illegal stuff going on in there. But I'll tell you, Ethereum, legitimate. JP Morgan Chase, they're building their stable coin on Ethereum. All right? They just came out with it today. Their new stable coin is going to be built on Ethereum, not on Solana, not on Bitcoin, on Ethereum. BlackRock has its own layer 2 solution built on Ethereum called BIDL. They have, I want to say they have something like $10 billion in tokenized bonds already on their blockchain built on Ethereum.
Damn.
They're not going to Solana. They're not going to XRP. They're not going to Bitcoin. Ethereum is where it's at. Like somebody said that Ethereum's going to like $700,000 or something like that in the next 10 years. I believe it.
Yeah,
why not?
Too. Yeah.
Look, okay, so
it's got real world application. That's why.
Dude, I'm gonna show you another site here that I showed my students the other day, but because it's actually a profitable business. There are profitable businesses in crypto right now. Everybody's like, it's a Ponzi scheme. I'm like, bullshit. They're making money, more money than most public companies.
Yep.
But check this out. If you were to have seen this, you would have been like, oh, no way, man. This is never coming back. 94% down. Amazon was a scam. But look at this. Look at what it did.
Wow.
Look at what it did. And we had some retracements, all this stuff. But then in 2006, we started to moon. And look at this. Just keeps going and going and going. So if you would have held, all right, let's move this up here. You bought the peak and you would have held, all right, you would have made, look at this. A 41x.
Wow.
A 41x on your money. And let's say, and that's at the peak, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you would have had the foresight to buy down here.
Yeah.
What would you have done now? Let's see. A 475x return.
Goodness.
And dude, I'm telling you, Ethereum is bigger than Amazon. And it's going to go up faster than Amazon because the infrastructure is already there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to scale it? Boom, you pop up a layer 2. Look at what JP Morgan just did. Look at what BlackRock did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's all sorts of layer 2s. I use Arbitrum, which is a layer 2, and Fractal, which is a layer 2, every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the wild part is, like, let's say, for instance, Amazon ain't going to pay you a dividend.
Yeah.
I don't think they do. Maybe they do. Let's say they do. Let's say they pay you 5-7% per year. In ETH, there's all in DeFi, which is what we're going to be talking about at the 2-day event. All right. We're going to be showing you how you can actually, there's the logarithmic for that person who is asking for it. We're going to be showing you how you can actually yield farm Ethereum, how you can actually borrow and lend it and create more value out of your Ethereum. Okay. Called hyper compounding. Okay. We're going to show you how to borrow and lend with it. I mean, we're going to show you how to stake it and then loop the staking to where you can make like 15-20% in Ethereum if you really like Ethereum.
Yeah.
We're going to show you all of this stuff at this event. And this is the thing. This is why, like, I see all this stuff. It's devastating, man. When I see people dying, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Like, man, I mean, these people, they're just going to live in hell, their own hell. And they're going to, like, talk about looping. They're just going to keep looping into their own hell, in my opinion. That's until they figure it out.
Yeah.
Until they figure out, oh, we're not supposed to kill people? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crazy,
like,
man.
We can be nice to each other? Yeah. That's not a problem. We can all be nice to each other. You know, oh, he looks like that, but yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, we're all the same. We're all good. Like, come on, man. We all, like, I can guarantee you if we sat down with the majority of people in the world, we could resolve the issues.
Oh, absolutely. I don't need no poly tricksters. I don't need any ambassadors. Get me in front of the right people, and we're going to make some changes, and we're going to make this a better world. You see, the reason why the poly tricksters can't do it and the ambassadors can't do it is because they're going in thinking, how can they make a profit versus how can they really save the planet?
Yeah.
It's
100%.
all about appeasing and acquiescing to the highest bidder. That ain't going to get it done.
But think of it this way, like, and this is where I think we're going to be in 2030 to 2032. Dr. Greer's talked a lot about this, right? I think energy is going to be free.
Yeah.
I think AI will be a much bigger part of our lives than it is now. And we're going to enter an age, hopefully not of idiocracy, which is what we're in right now. We're in straight up idiocracy. Was it you, the one that told me the other day, like Hulk Hogan ripping off for the Trump thing? You know?
No, I don't know about that one.
Dude, Hulk Hogan was at a Trump rally or something like that, like, you know, before he was elected. And it was like, and all of a sudden, you know, like Hulk Hogan's there. He's ripping his shirt off, the Hulkster. And I was like, oh my gosh. Have you seen that movie, Idiocracy?
No, I got to watch it.
Bro, you have to watch Idiocracy, bro.
Tonight. I'll watch it tonight.
Tonight. Your mouth is going to be down to here. Who here in the audience has seen it and knows what I'm talking about? Dude, it is where we're at right now. I remember watching the movie and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so stupid. This is never going to happen. And literally, it's happening right now.
It was a documentary.
It turned out to be.
Oh, shit.
a documentary.
Damn.
Yep. It turned
Crazy,
out to be a documentary.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as some of y'all have watched it. Some of y'all have watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah, man, everybody, man, stay safe out there. There's so much going on that whew, I don't know.
It's wild. There's people in the live chat arguing if I love Trump. No, I do not love Trump. No, I do not love Biden. No, I do not love Democrats or Republicans. You know who I love? I love myself.
Amen.
And I love the people of the world, the citizens of the world, the people that are out here just trying to live their life day by day, moment by moment, that keep getting manipulated and distracted at every turn by these poly-tricksters and these elite oligarchs.
Yeah.
So no, I don't love Trump and love this one and love that one. I love me. That's why I vote for me.
Yep.
I never put a president's name on any kind of ballot and vote for them for anything, because that would be giving away my own sovereign power. Yep. And I'm not going to give away my power to anyone or any entity or any deity, because I'm going to continue to believe in me and myself. And I'm going to believe in the power that's been invested within me. And I'm going to activate that power, and I'm going to utilize that power to navigate this matrix. Yep. And if everyone had that mindset, this world would shift instantaneously. I mean, instantly. Just like it says in the Bible, it would shift in a twinkling of an eye.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. You know, so this guy, Mark Long, he's saying, do you hate the oligarch? I don't hate anybody.
No.
I don't hate, like, obviously there's things that I believe are not good in this world, but I don't hate. Like, that hate is like holding a hot rock.
It's a powerful word to use. It's a harsh word. It's dark.
It's dark. Like, if I start hating people, man, it's like holding a hot rock. The only one who gets burnt is me.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't hate anybody. It's unfortunate what they do, but it's like, that ain't the real Christ consciousness. Like, when you really read it, like when you really read into the Bible, or even into the Gnostics, right? They're not like, go and fight wars in my name and kill the other country. Right?
Yeah.
That's not what it says.
It's about, I said this in a podcast recently that I was in. I said, I think I was on a Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz. And I was telling him about these elite oligarchs that run the planet. And I said, they're sharks. I said, they're not the problem. They are not the problem. We are the problem. The people of the world, we are the problem. I said, a shark is a shark. And when a shark smells blood, it's going to attack. A shark is a shark. Let them be what they are. But if we want to see change on this planet, it's us that have to change. We have to stop fighting one another over divide and conquer tactics. We have to stop going against the grain and going into competition over collaboration. We, the people, are the ones that have to learn how to love one another, see each other in a brighter light, be there for acts of service and assistance and guidance and mentoring and everything else. And when we get to that level, we, meaning the 8 billion people, get to that level, then we can actually initiate major change on this planet. But until then, these 100 families are going to continue to put their boot on our neck, which they deserve to, because we have allowed them to.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Like, guys, gals, don't hate others. The only one who's going to get burnt is you. They're going to do what they're going to do. And that's just kind of the reality that we live in right now. But you have the ability to just say, no, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not going to buy into that. Like, turn off CNN, turn off Fox, get off X after this podcast. But you know what I mean? Like, they've used brainwash But guys, gals, they are us. It's in all of our nature. Don't think you're too different. What if you were born into that, right? That's all you ever knew. That's what your parents taught you.
Yeah.
Seldomly, maybe like the Buddha got out, right? The Buddha got out, he left. But seldomly do these people veer from what they've been taught. A lot of you that are here, you guys woke up. I saw somebody says, I woke up today or yesterday or something like that. It was so cool. Like earlier.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. That's powerful, man. It's powerful. You know, the people that we meet and interact with and learn about in the world is just us teaching us something about ourselves.
Yeah.
So when you start to see the world that way, and it's not that we won't get mad at somebody, we won't get frustrated at somebody, we won't get pissed off at somebody. That's happened to me. It's happened to me. But I do have this balancing switch inside of my head that lets me get back to my level. At some point, I get back to level and I begin to realize, what am I going to be able to learn from this situation and what this person did or didn't do? And I begin to see them then as a reflection of myself, and all they are is an alternative frequency of me. And what can I learn from myself now? Because I'm only talking to myself. I'm only dealing with myself because there's only one in the world. And when you're dealing with people and dealing with others and you're talking to yourself. There's only one consciousness. And so if that's the case, when I'm interacting with these different energies, what am I going to allow these energies to teach me about my true self and how I can navigate better, how I can grow, how I can become a better person? And when you start to see things from that perspective, everything will shift.
Yep, 100%. 100%. By the way, Stephen Miller says, hold on, I'm going to put this up there. The Bible says exactly that. Go in my name and take over the country, and men, women. That's also, what do they call them? The demiurge?
That's in the book of Deuteronomy, most likely. Yeah. The book of Deuteronomy is a pretty brutal book. It's pretty deadly. It's not, but that's not God talking. It's actually people talking.
I should rephrase.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually people talking. The book of Deuteronomy is pretty brutal book, man. Pretty hardcore.
More of the New Testament. I should rephrase. Should rephrase.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been dropping a link in the live chat, everyone. The link's in the live chat. Make sure you guys register for the Decode the Financial Matrix masterclass. It's going to be 6 to 8 hours. It's going to be an amazing masterclass. It's basically free. We only charging $5 because we want to have some skin in the game so that you actually show up. Because if we're going to give you 8 hours of our life, we want to make sure
times 2 days. Times 2 days of 8 hours.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. So $5 is basically free, but we're just trying to say, hey, a little pocket reminder, a little pocket sacrifice to remind you that you have to show up, because it would be unfair for us to do that many hours and teaching nonstop for nothing. So I dropped a link in the live chat. It should be in the caption of this video as well. So make sure you guys register ASAP and show up to the masterclass. It's going to be amazing.
Yep. Admiral says, yeah, next thing you know, there'll be an Elon Musk testament.
I'm tired of all these remixes. That's hilarious.
Look at this. Look at what Mark Long said. Look at what Deuteronomy is a great book. Love a bloody novel. Oh man.
The craziest thing I read in the book of Deuteronomy, where God tells this guy that if he's hiding in the bushes and he sees a woman walking by and he likes her, he can rape her. And then it says, after you rape her, if you decide that, I guess if you like that, then you can keep her as your wife. I'm like, this is some crazy stuff. This is like soft porn. It's wild.
Soft porn. That's hardcore porn, bro. Come on, man. That ain't soft porn. That's like quintuple X, bro. Come on. It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so dark. So dark.
You got to be able to look through it, man. You got to be able to look through it. Like that's why I read all the books. Like and I'm not like, oh, this one is it's the one, and all of you are going to the bad place because you don't believe what I believe. Come on, get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, no,
man.
that's garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
They'll quote this and that and all, and so righteous, and I'm like, okay.
Those are the ones you gotta look out for.
It is.
Go check out their skeletons in their closet. Ooh.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Scary stuff. Scary stuff.
A lot of them are narcissists anyway, so they can never really decipher how crazy they really are, because they believe their own lies. You know.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, brother.
All right.
Well, everybody, again, I'm seeing the signups pour in. Get signed up. Space is limited, guys and gals. Once we start hitting about that 2,000 mark, we're probably going to start shutting it down because we want to make sure that we give everybody the right attention. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people signing up. I think we've already gotten just tonight, I don't know, 30 or 40. So head over there. We're going to talk about the 4 turnings in depth. We're going to talk Nick, you know Nick, you met him while you were out here, Billy. Yeah. Nick's really into the 4 turnings. He's really studied on it. He's studied a lot from Ray Dalio. He's going to be talking there. Nice. We have a lot of huge key opinion leaders showing up to this event. Huge. Mike Rashid's going to be there. I'm really pumped on him. He just released his new book.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of other people that we'll announce next week. But guys, gals, get signed up because we are going to talk. I'm going to share with you all the tricks. I'm going to give it all right there in 8 hours a day. We're going to do 16 hours, 2 days, and you can win up to $10,000. So you're going to want to be there the whole time because we're going to have a quiz at the end. And we're going to be giving away crypto that's not meme coins or any BS like that because we don't believe in that shit.
No.
All right. And we're going to be giving away NFTs that have a real world use case.
Yeah.
Up to $10,000. I think we're going to give a little bit more away. We're going to give away some of Billy's books. It's going to be a lot. Yeah. It's going to be a lot, guys. Show up. You're going to earn to learn.
That's right.
That's the way it is.
Some people were saying that are they going to get a link after they signed up?
Matt, I think they'll get one a few days before, or they have to like RSVP because we want to make sure that people actually show up.
Yeah.
Because space is really limited. So what you'll get a after you RSVP, which the RSVPs will go out a few days before, and we'll go there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
they will get an email after they sign up, though. They will get an email after they sign up.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
So, yeah.
All right, man. Well, I got to go make some more videos.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right. Hey, thanks for everyone. Thanks for watching again. Make sure you guys register ASAP, and we'll see you on the next Conscious Finance podcast. Peace.